Hello guys, welcome back to Sadiq's Rabbitry. My name is Sadiq, a young and passionate rabbit farmer here in Ghana. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys 10 misconceptions people have been talking about rabbits, which is not true. And the way some of these things fly around is very funny, right? So it's just like this way. If someone out there who is not a farmer, right, overhear someone talking about rabbits, the person say, oh, rabbit is this, rabbit is that, we do not give rabbit these things at this period. And then that same person who is not a farmer will keep that in mind, and once he sees a farmer, he will also tell the same story to the farmer, right? And what happens is that that same farmer too will start sharing these ideas around, which sometimes might not be helpful to them, right? So today I have 10 misconceptions I'm going to be talking about in this video. So if you're new to the channel, do well to hit the subscribe button, smash the like button if you really enjoyed watching the video. Number one, you might have been hearing this a lot from others, right? Which is, you can remate your rabbit immediately after she gives birth. Now this has been talked about a lot, right? People have been talking about it a lot. Okay, now with this misconception, it can be categorized into two, right? It can be very good for some farmers, and it cannot be good for others, right? So farmers who can use this strategy on their farm is the big scale farmers, right? The big scale farmers are those who can be using this type of strategy on their farm, because one, they want a lot of rabbits to sell, right? So how can they do that? Is by breeding their female rabbits constantly so that they can be giving birth for them to sell, right? And the other category that this might not work for them are those who are into rabbits locally, just like the way we do, right? So over here, even though you would be producing rabbit for meat, it doesn't necessarily mean that you wouldn't give your female rabbit the time for her to rest before breeding her again. With the large scale farmers, for them, they can switch up their breeding stock very easily, right? Unlike small scale farmers, once you have a female rabbit, you can be keeping that female rabbit for like 10 to 12 months, right, before changing. But with big scale farmers, because they want their meat production to be going higher, then it means that once their female rabbit gives birth to at least 3 times, they will just switch up and then bring in new stock. The second one, which has been commonly talked about, is you can leave the female rabbit in a male's cage for more than 24 hours. Now, I have been talking about these things in my previous videos a lot, right? But most of you guys, it seems maybe you don't want to watch the video to the end, so you always miss the best part of it. That's why you keep on doing this. I had someone who came to me on WhatsApp telling me that, oh, he wants to breed his animals, but whenever he takes the female to the male's cage, after 2 weeks, he doesn't see any sign of pregnancy. And I asked him, how do you breed your animals? Okay, I asked him, how do you breed? Then he said that, okay, he leaves the female rabbits in the male's cage for 3 days. Then I was like, wow, bro, 3 days. That's 72 hours, bro. Leaving a female rabbit over there for too long wouldn't necessarily mean that she will get pregnant, or it will get pregnant. Okay, it will get pregnant. So mostly rabbit breeding doesn't take more than an hour. Listen to me very carefully. It doesn't take more than an hour to breed a rabbit. So anytime you want to breed, just take the female rabbit to the male's cage. By 5 minutes or even 2 minutes, you can get the first fall off. Then you take the female out. 5 minutes later, you then introduce the female rabbit again, right? You will do this 3 times. So in 20 minutes, you can just service a female. Okay, it's as simple as that. Just don't be complicating things on your farm, and then you will end up saying your rabbits are not producing well, your rabbits are not getting pregnant, blah blah blah, and all of that, right? So just be careful. Another thing that was bothering my mind, like seriously, I wanted to talk about, was you can confirm a rabbit's pregnancy just after 3 days of mating. Right, guys, this is very, very funny. Right, so you will breed a rabbit, and then 3 days time you want to confirm if she is pregnant by taking her to the male's cage again. Okay, now obviously you shouldn't expect that after 3 days of mating you reintroduce the female to the male's cage. She wouldn't accept it again. Right, if she is on heat, she will accept it again. That's why it's always important that when you breed the female rabbit, let her be in her cage for 2 weeks before you can confirm the pregnancy. Okay, and it's also very, very important to know how you breed the animals in order for you to not waste 2 weeks before checking if the animal is pregnant but it is not. Right, so it's very, very crucial. Don't tell me that you'll be checking or you'll be confirming a pregnancy just 3 days after mating. The number 4 misconception I have on my list is what most of the time causes miscarriage in your farm, which is medicating a pregnant rabbit. Now, this cannot be overly emphasized because most of you guys are trying to be, let's see, how do I say it? There's no way I can describe it, right? So just always make sure that you will medicate your animal 2 weeks before mating. It's as easy as that, right? Just mate the female rabbits. Do not medicate it until she gives birth. That's it, right? If you wouldn't want to be having any cases whereby you breed the animal, you wait for a month feeding it over and over and again, and then 28 days it is not giving birth. Number 5 is inbreeding. Now, inbreeding can be categorized into 2 when it comes to farming, right? It can work for others, but it cannot work for other group of farmers. So with big scale farmers, they can use this strategy to keep a line or a genetic of a particular breed, right? Which means breeding a father with a daughter or breeding the mother with the son, right? Big scale farmers do this to keep the lineage of a particular breed, but this will not work for small scale farmers because you wouldn't want to be breeding a brother with a sister just in the name of you want to keep the lineage of that particular breed. Your job is to breed, get the kids, sell them, and then make your money, right? But if you are going for a large scale purpose, then this can also work for you. But sometimes I understand because most people do not have the time to be keeping records of these rabbits, so sometimes they can accidentally breed families together, which sometimes when the kids come in, they'll be having, they'll be not growing well, they'll be having paralyzed legs, sometimes they'll be having glaucoma and all sorts of illnesses because of they are related in terms of blood, right? So please be careful when breeding your animals and always make sure that you are keeping the good record, right? Not just record, but you are keeping the good record, just like the name of the rabbit, where you sourced it from, and then the amount of kids it has, right? And then you can identify the kids whenever you want to. If I continue to the 6th one, please, I want you guys to understand that we do have different types of breeds of rabbits. We have local breeds, we have pure breeds, we have cross breeds. Okay, so if let's say you have another channel on YouTube you've been watching and the farmer is based in, let's say, South Africa or Belgium, what he will be talking about with his animals will be different from someone who is in Africa, Nigeria or Ghana, talking about his own farm. Okay, so always make sure that you carefully select the advices you choose from these people. Okay, because we operate in different climates, different environments, so always make sure that you are getting the right information that will be necessary to use on your farm. Number 6 on my list is you can wean rabbits when they get to 3 weeks of age. Now, don't get me wrong if I say this can be a good idea, right? Don't get me wrong. Just because I said it's a misconception, so it wouldn't be necessary for me to talk about it. Okay, so now, as I said earlier, we do have pure breeds, we have local breeds, we have cross breeds. Now, I can tell you that with pure breeds, you can win them when they get to the age of 4 weeks, right? 4 weeks or 5 weeks minimum. Okay, but with the local breeds that we have here, before you win a rabbit, unless it gets to 2 months of age, or even with some weeks, right? Because these rabbits have different genetics, and their growth rate is very different. Okay, so but winning rabbits at 3 weeks of age, even with pure breeds, it wouldn't be necessary for you to do that. Okay, right? So yeah, there's another misconception you should be careful of. Do not be winning your animals when they get to 3 weeks of age. Oh boy, the next misconception I'm going to be talking about is what most people have been taking like the holy grail, right? So they could tell you that, if you want to have more kids from your female rabbit, make sure that you have more follow-up from the male. Now this alone could cause you to, I will not talk much. Okay, so this is not true. Okay, this is not true. That's what I want to talk about. Okay, so the more follow-ups you get, the more kids you will have, right? So yeah, it could be said that rabbits, for you to breed a rabbit, you will have to take the female to the male's cage and get at least 3 follow-ups. Okay, which these 3 follow-ups, you don't know how many kids the female rabbit will be having, but it could be determined by other factors. Okay, like the parent stock of the female or the parent stock of the male, the genes, and most other stuffs. Okay, so but it doesn't necessarily mean that you would say, oh, okay, if I have a New Zealand rabbit and I breed it with Flemish giant, it means that you'll be having more kids or something like that. Okay, the reason why we even breed rabbits up to 3 follow-ups is that we want to ensure that some of the semen will be able to reach the eggs. Okay, so even with 1 follow-up, you could have your animal giving birth to, let's say, 6, 8, or even 10. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean that, oh, as Sadiq said, we should be breeding our rabbits, have 3 follow-ups, and then we can surely say that the rabbits will give birth to more kids. No, that's not how it works. Okay, so just the 3 follow-ups, we want to ensure that yes, the semen will be able to fertilize the eggs. It's drizzling right now, but of course I have to be making the video for you guys. So all you can do right now to help me or to support the channel is by clicking the subscribe button, smash the like button, so that even if I upload a new video, you are not online. Once you get internet connection, you'll be able to know that I uploaded a new video. So let's continue. Number 8 is rabbits have mating season. Now listen to me very carefully. Rabbits are different species. So you shouldn't let anybody tell you that rabbits have breeding seasons just like the way other animals do. Okay, if you are doing this, you are pretty much wasting much of your time waiting for that breeding season to come, which will never even come. Okay, so now what I want you to know is that with male rabbits, they are ever ready, Charlie. Even if morning, afternoon, evening, you introduce the female rabbit, he can mate her, right? But most of the time, the problem we have is with the female rabbit. Okay, which will say that, oh, the female rabbit is not on heat before we can breed it. Okay, so how can you make rabbits come on heat even if it's not? Okay, so I have a new technique that I learned recently, and I'll be making a video on that very soon. So make sure you subscribe, and then don't. Let's go. Okay. So listen, it is not necessary for you to be saying that rabbits have breeding season. Just if the vulva of the female rabbit is not red, then you should know that she is not ready to accept the male, right? She's not ready to accept the male. So let's say the first day of new month, you check the female. The vulva is not red, so you wait for at least 3 days and then you will check again, right? So if you don't see any redness, then you will try taking the female to the male's cage. Okay, you are not breeding, you just want to let her familiarize herself with the male, like be around the male for a while. Okay, then you take her out. Within 2 days, just try again. It will ebefa. So just try it. Okay, that's just the first technique I've shown you, but I'll be making a video on the next one. Okay, so the ninth misconception is that rabbits can eat whatever it is given. Be very careful with this thing. Sometimes I understand, sometimes cost of feeding will be expensive. Okay, so you'd want to have other means of feeding your animals, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you should get kitchen waste for rabbits that you want to breed and make money off of it. You are giving kitchen waste to Charlie. Don't do it, please. Even if you think that the cost of feed is high, just try getting grasses for them. Try getting the end product of this house cocoa for your rabbits. They'll eat it. Okay, and I've learned something about the cassava too. The cassava peels, rabbits do love it much, so you could be just doing this, add it to your feed and then be giving it to them, right? Not necessarily giving kitchen waste to your rabbit, just like the way other people are saying. The 10th misconception, which is also a fact, is that if you don't subscribe to this channel, if you are new, your rabbit will not give birth for 1 year. I'm not capping, bro. I'm not capping. I'm Sadiq. I'm signing out.